needed that. Morning, guys. So it's early, but I wake up early, so it's not as early as I get up. I think it's, hold on, it's 7:48 in the morning, but I've been up since 5:45, so I've just been lounging around in the bed. That's what's pretty much been the case here this morning. And I was like, I could get up and film another Tea Talk for you guys, and this will be Tea Talk 2. So if you have not checked it out, check out Tea Talk 1, which was about organization. Today we're going to talk about saving money. It's one of those topics that gets kind of scary. I wasn't necessarily bad about saving money. I don't know, for me, I've always been kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say I held on tight to money, but I really thought about the things that I was buying when I was spending money. Unless it was somebody else's money, then that's a different subject. If it's somebody else. But anyway, so today I'm going to go over my 4 tip tricks to saving money and what will help you, or some of the tricks that may help you if you're already doing some of the other ones. But you know, they're pretty simple, pretty reasonable, so we can go ahead and hop right into it then. Let's go. Okay guys, so tip trick 1 is to get a calendar, like I said in the first Tea Talk about organization, and write out all of the expenses that you have for that month. Expenses meaning more so bills. You know what day typically every month that your bill is going to come out, such as a credit card bill, rent, stuff like that. So what I did when I first started working was for the first month I wrote out all the bills, and I have them kind of reoccurring every month on each day because they come out on the same day. And I get paid bi-weekly in my job. So the way that I did it was I put out all the bills. I know the day that I get paid bi-weekly, and I know how much I have. So first step for me was to every 2 weeks that those bills were coming out under that paycheck, I would also do another tab under payday labeled bills, and I would write the total amount that I have in my check, and for that 2 weeks, whatever bills fell under that 2 weeks, I subtracted it from that total, which gave me an idea of, okay, what money do I have to work with for these 2 weeks. And that gave me a sense of security in knowing that, okay, I'm not overstepping my bounds. I know, let's just give for instance, I know I have $250 for 2 weeks. Now that $250, I did not include groceries, I did not include gas. So that kind of helped with the budget of, okay, if I'm going to the grocery store, I don't know, I'll give myself a budget of $50 for this week, or $100, you know, just throwing something out there. And by that time, I already knew how much it took to fill up my car. No, I'm not going to be on E at the beginning of every pay period, but you know, you have a sense of, you know, the most that it takes to fill up your car. So if you know that, you can automatically subtract that out. And for me, I overestimate. I love overestimating because I know that I'm being conservative. Engineering talk. I know that I'm being conservative, but overestimating is a lot safer than underestimating, and you're like, oh crap, you know, I got to transfer over some money, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So tip trick 1 is to make sure that you write out all your bills, subtract them out from the paycheck depending on how your paycheck is, and just see where everything lies under that subject, and you'll give you an idea of where you're gonna end up for that pay period. So that's it for tip trick 1. See, it's not even that bad, right? No? Okay, tip trick 2, you guys, is to pay your savings account like you pay a bill. I cannot stress this enough. I talk to my friends about this all the time. I talk to my family about this all the time. I mean, this is, I don't even know where I saw a quote about this, but I mean, my family always told me about this as well. But I saw a quote a couple years ago, and I was like, wow, this is a real thing. But anyway, so what I did, and this is all based on, you know, everyone's pay is different. The way everyone's payment is set up different as to where they fall, where the bills lie, and stuff like that. But I gave myself a certain amount. Let's just say $100 a month. I start working. I'm fresh out of college. I start working. I want to give myself a realistic goal on what I can pay my savings account every month. I'm not going to go out and say, oh, I'm going to pay $500 a month to my savings. No, that's not realistic. At least it was not for me. So you start with something small and you progress from there. When you get to a comfortable level, I would say after I got a little raise for 2 years, non-competitive, or 3 years technically, non-competitive. So every time I got a raise, I raised how much I put in my savings account. Again, everyone is different, but when you get to a level of being comfortable and you're like, okay, I know for sure I'm not going to spend this money, so this for sure is going into the savings account. And this is per month. This isn't per pay period for me. Now, if it's easier for you to do like, okay, $50 per pay period, or if you get paid every week, then if you feel comfortable doing like, okay, $20 out of this paycheck every single week, then that is good. But like I said, everyone is different. For me, excuse me, I'm a little slightly under the weather, but for me, it was easier for me to do per month. So let's just say, starting fresh out of college, after the first month, I get a comfortable idea of what my spending is going to be like. I know I don't spend that much on groceries. Well, at the time I did, but that's a story time for another day. If you didn't know, I lived in Iowa for a year, so yeah, that's a story time for another day. But anyway, I know about how much I spend on groceries. I know about how much my gas is going to be. So I take the total of how much I make for that month, not just each pay period, because I get paid twice a month. So I took the total of that month, I subtracted out all bills, and I saw what I was left with. Let's just say I see that I'm comfortable with $100. I'm going to set, according to where my bills fall, because my bills are a little weird in the sense of, well, not my bills, but my payday. In the sense of, my payday is always going to be bi-weekly, but of course the days change position. Like, it's not always going to be on a Wednesday. It's not, all my bills aren't always going to fall in the second pay period. It might, some of them may fall in the first pay period that they might have fit in the second pay period the last month. So I have to take it month by month. But I know out of one of those paychecks, $100 is going to come out, and I'm going to move it to my savings account. This was an easier step for me, and it gave me a sense of security. And also, if you have goals of, like, at the time, I knew my car was a little bit older, so I knew I was going to have to get another car soon. So I made a I made another account for my car. I also have an account for my vacation. So at this point, I have a vacation account now. Then I didn't have the vacation account, but I did make a car account a year post working. Now I've been working for about 3 years. So a year post working, I was like, okay, now I need to start moving towards seeing to get another vehicle. So I started a vehicle savings account. Sorry, and I had a vacation saving account, and I had my regular savings account. So at this point, I have 3 different savings accounts, and I know how much money is going total to those accounts. So I pay those accounts like I pay a bill. So it's not like, oh, this month I can't do this, I'm not going to put any money towards this account. No, you calculated it in like it is a bill. So you need to stick to it as though it's a bill. So at this point, you know, I know how much at the end of the year I should have X amount of dollars in this savings account. I should have X amount of dollars in this savings account. And for me, it was easier for me because I do take quite a bit of vacation. Me and my boyfriend are long distance at the moment, so a lot of those vacations are flying out to see him, and then we take our vacations together, and then we go back for homecoming and stuff like that. So instead of stressing about, okay, pulling money from one of those savings accounts, why not just make a vacation account? So now when I go on vacation, I'm only touching vacation money. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. So at this point, I'm not stressing about whatever's in that vacation account can be spent. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So that's all for tip trick 2. Hopefully that helped you guys. It definitely helped me, and I do like to stay a little bit organized. So for me, it helped me out a lot seeing exactly where money was going. And it wasn't like I'm just wondering or pondering, and maybe I can send this money over here this month. Maybe I have enough to send to this vacation a month. So just pay your savings like you pay your bills. That's pretty much the gist of tip trick 2. Okay, you guys, tip trick 3 can be easily debatable. It's cook more, eat out less, let me say. For me, it's not hard for me to cook more because I like cooking. But for some people, they like to eat out more, and they don't realize that eating out, again, overestimating, let's just say at work, pretty much a meal at work is roughly $10. I'll say $8 and something, but just round up to $10. I work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Now, if I went out to lunch every day, I would be spending $50 of my paycheck just on lunch, when I could have spent that $50 on groceries and could have made more meals with that. So that's the way I think about it. I do treat myself. I go out to eat on the weekends, but during the week I try to cook. So that kind of minimizes the amount of money that's coming out of my bank account in that instance. And sometimes it's just more convenient for people. They really don't have the time to cook or gather up lunch real quick. But that's just like a little tip trick that has saved me a lot of money, because I think when I first started working, I was eating out in the cafeteria a lot. And one day I just noticed how much money I was like spending in the cafeteria, and I was like, oh my God, I could have just simply went to the grocery store, made some sandwiches, or made a salad, or made some pasta. Wouldn't have even taken $10 to make. So that's just something that I like to stay conscious of, and hopefully that helped you out a little bit. And just noticing where your money is going and trying to like save in those regards, in those instances. So that's it for tip trick 3. Let's move on to tip trick 4. Okay, you guys, tip trick 4 is understanding what is a need and what is a want. I cannot tell you how much my aunt has banged this into my brain at this point, but unfortunately she was correct. I've never been the type to have a lot of wants. I'd say middle of high school, it kind of slowly progressed to now I don't even want anything for Christmas. Actually no. I probably just want fuzzy socks for this Christmas. That's probably it. But I guess I say this in saying that I notice a lot of people, and if you can do this in your budget, then by all means do it. But some people might struggle in the aspect of realizing what's a need and what's a want. Like, do I really need to go shopping every single week, or do I just want to go shopping every week? Or do I need to go out to eat every day this week, or do I want to go out to eat every day this week? Or do I really need to get this, or do I really want to get that? So it's just those things that I like to keep in the back of my head. Yes, I'm still struggling with that as well. I'm a pocket pincher, but I also have those moments where I just splurge, per se. But I mean, at the same time, overall, I like to think that I consider my needs more than my wants. I guess overall is what I'm saying. And in those budgets that I make for myself, I do budget off, like if I know I have $250 for 2 weeks, let's just say I did all my grocery shopping, like I meal planned for the next 2 weeks. I know what I'm doing: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I know what my gas is gonna look like, and I'm left with $150 or $100. Then yes, then I would go and say, okay, this $100 is either mine to go spend, go shop, go do whatever I want with it, or I can use that $100 and put it back in my savings account the day before I get paid, the next day, or whatever is left the day before you get paid or whatever. If you want to go spend that, go out to eat, do what you gotta do, go for it. If you want to put that money, which I have a lot, I put that money back into my savings account. I kind of withered away from that a little bit just because I've been going through all these other things in my head, and so by the time payday rolls around, I'm like, crap, I should have calculated how much money I had left so I can just slide that into my savings account. But it's okay, it's going to get in my savings account at some point. So that's just another tip trick that helped me out a lot, understanding what to need and what to want. So you guys, I hope that this video came in handy for you, and I'm just sharing some of the tip tricks that has helped me through in saving money. I've been working for 3 years, so I've been doing trial and error with everything on how to save money. Trust me, I'm trying to help you guys bypass some of those mistakes that I've made, and it just seemed like this was the easiest one for me. But if you guys have any tip tricks that you would like to share that might help me out or help someone else out, just comment down below. Hopefully this video has helped out a lot, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Tea Talk. Bye.